snapper, Austin Brinkman. Questions for Austin, Greg?
So, Austin, take me back to the start of a long snapper. When was it you found out you could do this and this would be your calling that would take you through college?
Yeah, so I would say probably I don't know, I was young. My dad taught me when I was little, just kind of going through it and seeing what I could do, what I couldn't do. And then probably my freshman year of high school is when I found out it's something that I could do. And then the following year is when I decided to start taking it seriously.
Did you think it would take you to college at that point, or?
I thought I had a chance. To the level that I've gotten and to where it's gotten me, you couldn't convince me in a million years that this is where I'd be if I was back there.
Are you aware of the issues that Kansas State's had with snapping? I mean, it's cost them a couple games. It cost them the Arizona State game.
Okay.
I mean, just talk about the importance of what you do and how it can impact things.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, it's definitely important. It's overlooked sometimes, I think, just how important it can be. But, you know, it's not always on us. You know, you have to have a great unit, you know, holder, kicker, punter. You know, sometimes even, you know, we can mess up and, you know, those guys can make us look even better, which is a credit to them and our guys. So that's always definitely important to have as well.
I guess it becomes an issue when you're rolling them.
Yeah, that can definitely cause some issues. But again, you know, it's a whole unit kind of thing. You know, if one guy's down or one guy's having a rough day, then that next guy's going to step up and help you out or make you look better. And that's just how the unit kind of has to roll and take every play.
Except that it is sort of a thankless job that people only really know what you're doing if you mess up. How do you accept that?
I mean, that's just kind of something you accept early on, and that's, you kind of look at it as a good thing, because if you mess up, you know that's going to be what's talked about, and you know that if things are kind of silent, and you know you're not really getting much praise or you're not getting talked about, then it's like, you know, that's the best thing that could possibly happen, just because you know you're doing your job, and that's kind of how I look at it and how the rest of us look at it in that room.
What's the second best non-snapping thing you do? I mean, you're all obviously on coverage, right?
Yeah,
coverage
is fun. You know, I've been, we use it in our team meetings. I'm the traffic cone. Been a traffic cone for 4 years going to the field. No, but I love my job. I wouldn't change it for the world. And I've, you know, just been happy to be a part of that unit for so long.
What's the difference between snapping on punts and extra points in the field?
The distance. I mean, you know, there's really not much of a difference mentally. You just know that you're kind of in a different situation. You know, punt, you're going to flip the field. You go out on extra point or field goal, you're looking to score. But other than that, you're not really looking to do anything different. You know, it's the same job. I got to go out there and do my job as every other time. So,
is there any trick in the technique to getting it to him so he can get the laces facing?
Yeah, so that's something I've been working on since, I guess, this past summer was something I really started focusing on and tried to hone in on was the laces. It's something that I wouldn't say I've struggled on, but something that I've wanted to be better at. And I've been working with Leighton Bechtel, our holder, Ollie, anybody that's been holding for us, just kind of getting the laces right, the rotation of the ball, the catch point of the holder. It's really those things that you don't really think about. But once you kind of hone in, focus on it, and rep it so many times like we've done before, it kind of becomes second nature.
Have you get a tackle this year?
What's that?
Did you get a tackle this year?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I got one that counted yet, but I'm going to give myself one.
Have you thought about, you know, your skill, you can actually do this for a living? And I think that the Steelers, I think that the guy from Duquesne is specifically on the roster to long snap.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that? Has that gone through your mind?
Yeah, it's definitely gone through my mind, and it's something that I try not to look too much into. I just kind of try and go day by day, you know, week by week, because that's something I struggled with early on in my career is, you know, looking to the future. Okay, next year, what am I going to do? Next year. And now I'm just kind of trying to live in the moment. And last week we kind of had this mentality of be where your feet are, and that's something that, you know, now that it's been mentioned from last week, that's something that I really look forward to.
But that skill that you have has value now.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's cool watching the other guys in the league thinking that one day potentially it could be me, and those are the guys that I could be around every day, and that's something that I look forward to, that work and the effort that has to be put into it. So I'm definitely excited for that.
And one more thing on that, do you think maybe you need to add one other skill to supplement, to create value at that point?
Yeah, so we've worked a good bit on snapping and setting, because we have to snap and block in the next level. We've done that a good bit. We've implemented into some of the schemes, but it really just depends on the time and place and where we are on the field if we need to use it or not. But we know that we have it if it's necessary.
I know you've dealt with injury. You missed a game a couple weeks ago. So shoulder now. At one point, did you think maybe you'd have to shut the season down? How is it doing now?
No, I'm good now. It might get sore here and there, but I never had the thought of shutting the season down or anything like that. I want to be out there with the guys, so I'm going to do everything I can to be out there with them, and that's what I'm going to do.
You played a bunch of positions in high school, right?
Yeah.
And what you're saying initially, like, what am I going to do next year? Did you think about, hey, could I be a linebacker, a tight end, something like that? Did you have other ideas in addition to long snapping, or were you an open book for a while?
Not really. I mean, if that's the opportunity that presents itself, and that's what's asked of me, then yeah, of course I'm open to doing whatever I can. But up to this point, I mean, I've been snapping my whole career. And I think that's what I'm good at and I can excel at. So if that's what the road leads to, then yeah, I'd be open to it.
When you first walked on, did you think about just value? If I can do two things, like look at Leighton, for example.
Right.
Wears a bunch of hats. Was there an idea that maybe you could do something like that?
No, for sure. When I came in, I thought I could be in the tight end room for a little bit just as an extra body, but I quickly found out that my job was the long snap, and I wasn't mad about that at all. And like I've mentioned, where it's gotten me, it's I'm happy that's what I stuck with.
How's the potential for maybe some dicey weather this weekend alter your mindset or approach to it?
It really doesn't. Our coaches really harp on just being ready for any kind of situation that could be thrown at us, and we've worked so much wet football that I think we've worked more of that than anyone in the country. So no matter the situation, I think we're going to be prepared for it.
What is the mood of special teams as a group, just in general? Obviously, you're a close group, but Coach Brown talked about that wasn't the best day at the office. On Saturday.
I mean, being a specialist is such a mental thing. And it's a mental battle. Every snap, coming on the sideline. Say you don't have the best rep. You're going to come on the sideline and just be like, you might be down for a little bit, but the goal is to just kind of wipe that one and have a short memory. I think the biggest thing too is just we've done it so many times, and we have so many reps logged that are just really good reps, and we know what we can do our job really well. So even if something does go wrong, we're like, all right, that was a fluke. We can come back and do it very well the next time.
Do you say anything verbally to Ollie, for example, after maybe a rough punt?
Yeah, I mean, I'll come up to him because I know. Right. Yeah, because sometimes he'll come up to me too. Like if I'm down or something goes wrong, and pat on the back or something. Hey, like, don't worry about it. Like, we'll fix it. We'll be all right. And that's just kind of what we do as a specialist unit, just because we know we have each other's backs.
You guys do that on this past Saturday?
Yeah, all the time. Even if it looks like it's a good rep and we know we have a better rep in store, that's something we'll do. Is we'll come pat each other on the back and just lift each other up.
Go ahead.
Have you gotten any feedback, any intel at all from people at the next level, like they like you that you do this, they don't like that you do this, anything like that?
Not really. I mean, if I do, it's great. If they like what they see, that's great. If I need to work on something, that's great too. I'm not scared of the work. I think come towards the end of the season, whether it's 2 games or 3 games, when that that feedback starts to come in, if it does, that's something I'm looking forward to help me get there.
You can work wet ball drills in practice, but you can't really replicate cold. Is
Right.
that the toughest condition for a long snapper?
Being cold?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I think we've snapped in every condition possible. I think back to 2022, Oklahoma State, when it was just the weather just wasn't ideal. We've done everything possible to be ready for anything that happens. Cold weather, hot weather. If it rains, it snows. Whatever, we'll be ready.